Arranged marriages can be super duper confusing. It's almost like gambling. Like you're planning to spend the rest of your life with a person who has been a stranger to you. Since the stakes are so high, you cannot afford to make a very bad decision. You need some surety that my partner will be good enough, if not just awesome. So during the process of looking and selection, there are a lot of criteria that you have in mind, like on what basis will you select the partner. And sometimes people use bad criteria. I'll help you today by making the process simpler for you. Today I'll talk about criteria which you must not focus on or not focus on as much. First bad criteria is all the supernatural pseudoscience stuff, which includes your Kundli matching, horoscope, zodiac sign, predictions from Panditji, Guruji, etc. Sometimes your family focuses on this, sometimes you believe in it yourself. Some people take it very seriously, like no Kundli match, no match, candidate rejected. Some people use Kundli just as added surety. It's like everything is fine, but let's just wait for the Kundli results. Admission will be confirmed only after receiving passing marks. Some people focus on what the Gaon Wale Pandit Ji or the astrologer said. You are destined to find a partner who will be a businessman. Now when you see a profile of a businessman on jeevansathi.com, you're like, this guy must be suitable. Pandit Ji said so. And if the guy isn't a businessman, it's added to the cons list. Nah, he only works for a businessman, -2 points. Some people focus on horoscopes. Our zodiac signs should be compatible. I thought I should check mine. So I'm a Cancer. I typed on Google, best match for a Cancer man. And I came up with this article from a very famous magazine, Cosmopolitan. Let's see who I'm compatible with. They say, when it comes to a perfect match, Scorpio easily takes the cake. Wait, what? My girlfriend is actually Scorpio. I'm not even kidding. Is it real? Wow. I'm actually amazed. I'm joking. I'm not amazed at all. I know that it's a complete coincidence and I'll show you how the article says a lot but doesn't say anything at all. Apparently, other people that also match with me would be Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and of course, fellow Cancers. Half of the population is anyway a match. And look at what they have to say for the other half. You may have to do some compromise, but with some teamwork, you can create a healthy relationship. Fun fact, me and my girlfriend, who's actually a Scorpio and supposed to be a perfect match for me, in reality, initially, after dating for a few months, we realized we were a bad match. Like, we fought a lot in the first 2 years. Both of us had to communicate so much and learn to compromise on so many things. Now we do have a great relationship, not because of the zodiac sign perfect match, but because of a lot of hard work. And look at this. If your sun sign doesn't match, you of course have Moon, Mars or Venus sign. To be honest, I didn't even know those signs existed until I read this article. But this is genius. Like, you'll find some match in some heavenly body and you can pretty much marry anyone in the entire world. Maybe even someone from Mars and Jupiter. They have covered all customers from everywhere. Nobody is going home disappointed, not under their watch. Look at what else they are saying. In the same article, they say astrology helps you break down personality traits, pet peeves, and yes, even dating patterns. It can be fun and informative to look up the sign and see how yours work with his. Yes, we are talking compatibility. Absolutely wrong. Your zodiac sign tells you nothing about your personality, pet peeves, or dating patterns. It's only fun, not informative. In fact, it's anti-information. If this video does well, someday I'll discuss detailed reasons why all of this is pseudo-bogus science. Today I'm telling you, whatever supernatural stuff your family and you are focusing on, just stop it completely. Like, bring it to zero. By paying attention to them, you're gaining or losing confidence in someone for baseless reasons. Instead, focus on the person you're about to marry. Like, how much you have in common with them, how much you enjoy talking to them, how much deeper values do you share, what are each other's dreams and aspirations in life, etc. Shridhar Life School is a team of psychologists who specialize in counseling. To book sessions, go to our website shridharlifeschool.com. Second mistake is about family background. Many times people focus too much on family background. Here the problem is with degree. We commonly hear the phrase like अच्छे घर में रिश्ता करना है, must be married into a good family. By a good family, you are usually talking about features like wealthy, good social reputation in the community, cultured, etc. People tend to want families which are equal or slightly higher in socio-economic status. It's like a win if you're able to secure a partner from a better family. This family background becomes a bigger bigger concern for the women's family in the Indian joint family context because the girl would have to go live with them. It's almost like you're marrying not just the guy, but the whole family. So this second point I'll be discussing from the woman's point of view, although it applies to men too. The girl's family is thinking, if the family is really good, loved by all, the guy must be good too. He's a product of the family after all. Well, here things start to get tricky. I'll just give you examples of what can go wrong here. Even if we believe that your background check of the family is completely right, which it often isn't, that still doesn't give you much information about the individual members of the family. The person you're selecting, who I'll now call the candidate, can turn out to be very, very different from the family, sometimes in a good way, sometimes bad. Happens quite often. Also, the families try their best to hide things which they think would make their son or daughter unsuitable for marriage, like the drinking problem, eating non-veg, smoking habit, any mental illness, any past failure, the fake bachelor's degree, the medical issues, the violent tendencies, etc. So your family background checks can often be incomplete. Good family doesn't necessarily mean good candidate. Another scenario, the candidate's dad or grandfather were actually very intelligent and hardworking, who amassed all this wealth, but this candidate is way below average. He got the dull genes from the mother's side maybe, and since he got everything so easy, like on a silver platter, he never really pushed himself to develop his own skills. Happens quite often. So you could be marrying someone pretty incapable with no real motivation to improve either. The guy could actually be spoiled and very entitled, like the parents have made him the prince of the house, and that can continue even after marriage. He might not even give you an equal status. He's the center of his own universe and you're his moon. Not the romantic type, the satellite type. Another scenario, the father of the guy, because he built the empire, is so dominant that your guy, your candidate, has no say in the house. He's just a puppet in his dad's hands. He cannot even make basic life decisions without his dad's permission. The dad controls everything. He's rich, but he has to ask his dad before going to shopping. In future, even your parenting decisions will be governed by the family, not by you as a couple. Would you be okay with that? Now, of course, there's a significant percentage of rich families where the sons or daughters are also capable, hardworking, and have good personalities. Then it's a no-brainer. I'm focusing on when that's not the case and how you can avoid those big mistakes. I want you to understand this very clearly. Ultimately, your happiness in marriage is mainly dependent on the capabilities and personality of your partner, not his father or mother or brother or grandparents. Or I should say, it should not be dependent on the family. Your questions must be, how good of a husband will he be? How good of a father will he be? How good of an individual would he be? And of course, vice versa. Men should think about that for the women. So ideally, of course, if you can find a good family and a good guy, hooray! But it's difficult. So let's say you have two options. Option 1, family is good, person bad. Option 2, family is bad, person good. What I'm trying to say is go with option 2. You can compromise on the family background, don't compromise on the person. If the person is really good, he will protect you from his own bad family. You wouldn't have to worry about the family. Conclusion, stop focusing too much on the family. Instead, I repeat, focus on the person you are about to marry, how much you have in common with them, how much you enjoy talking to them, how much deeper values do you share, what are each other's dreams and aspirations in life, etc. Finding a partner as it is so difficult and confusing, but if you focus on wrong things, you can make the process extra complicated and still make a bad decision. Hope you don't. And if my comments about Kundli, Zodiac and Panditji hurt your feelings, sometimes it's good to get your feelings hurt. This is one of those times. Thanks for listening. If you are already in love but still very confused about whether to marry the person or not, you can watch this video. There I tell you one very important question to ask before marrying the person. Link is also in the description.